Hello everybody, welcome. Basically I'm Zoya's welcome. So basically in this reading we're gonna provide you, this is going for April 29th to May 4th of 2025. So basically this is gonna be the way how it is, the way how it goes, the way how it's gonna be processed and whatnot. Basically it's gonna be for whoever is gonna be offering about this whole entire way about this whole entire reading, and it's the way it's going to be. So all the cards are shuffled. Everything else that's going to be very interesting about how it is. This is the way it seems to be in that way, and this is the way it kind of goes in that significant moment of how it's going to be. And when everything seems to be all great, it's like, okay, well, we know what to do. We're going to do this. We're going to understand that, and that's how it seems to be, right? We have to understand what goes along, comes along, that's the way it goes, right? And when things have to be in that process, in that dynamic, in that the way of how it goes, we have to understand about how we can do it, right? We have to set our own emotions, our own dialogue about what we're having, and we have to understand that, right? We have to know about how we can do it, how we can understand that, how we can have our own rotations, whatever it is, right? We have to understand about what's going on in this situation, whether we like it or not, but it's based on that. It's based on how we're going to be having our own theory, but it's based on that. We have to base on both the truth and reconciliation or whatever it is, right? We have to understand about what's going on in this way, right? So I know that this reading is going to go for from April 29th to May 4th, 2025. And this reading is going to provide you about what's going on in this situation. And this is going to be how it is. So this is not going to be a long reading, but the way how this is, the way how I'm going to proceed it, that's the way it's going to be in that way, and that's how it is, right? So the oracle card I'm going to read you is Love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. That's the way it goes in that way, where, we have love, we have our own theories about how we can do it. And when we have love, we have to understand about how it goes in that way, right? Whether we like it or not, whether everything seems to be all great. But then we have to understand about how we can do it in that way. We have to understand that, right? Because we have to believe that when we have love, we have that ways about knowing what to do. And when we have love, we have to appreciate no one, is left behind, whatever it is. But when we have love, we have that way about knowing what to do. That's what it seems to be, alright? So everything is going to be very interesting indeed. So let me try to figure out what's happening in this whole entire reading. And I'm going to go from one card of this whole entire reading, and then we're going to continue. So let's see what's going on here. Alright? So basically we have the Empress card. The Empress does represent nourishment in the way of how this is. So you're thinking, okay, well, this is the way it goes. I know what to do. I got this. But then you have to understand that, right? So when you're looking for love, or when you're looking for something that is required, you have to do that, right? You're going to have your inquiry about knowing what to do when you have to understand that, right? That's the way it seems to be. So let's look at from the left side towards the right side, and we will find what's the middle. Okay. 2 wands reversed. Follow the 8 Pentacles is upright. Follow the 10 of Swords is upright. Yeah, because you're having conclusions. You could be following a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You could be focusing on Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus as zodiac signs, right? As air signs and earth signs as well. The 2 wands reversed. You already planned on something because that's the way it goes. Because you're thinking, okay, well, this is the way it seems to be. I know what to do. I got this. But then that's the way it seems to be, right? You have to improve yourselves wisely to get the way of how it is, to get the right picture, not to get the wrong picture and saying, well, I can't do this anymore. But the way of how this is, the way how you can proceed, that's why it seems to be in this way. You have to be on about this point, because that's the way it goes, right? Because you're trying to not forgive or forget at the same time, right? So we know what's going on from the left side. What's happening on the right side? The Death card is upright, the Emperor is upright, followed with the 10 of Pentacles is upright. Yeah, because you're looking for money in that way. You're having endings for come up. You're having your own structure. That's the way it goes. But the way of how this is, you could be focusing on another Scorpio as another water sign. You'd be focusing on Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus as another earth signs. That's the way it kind of concludes. Because in this way, you're trying to figure out, well, this is the way it seems to be. I know what to do. But it's like, well, this is the way it seems to be, right? That's how it is. What's in the middle of this situation? The King of Wands is upright. Yeah, because there could be passion in that way. That's the way kind of focusing on. So you could be focusing on another Leo, Aries, Sagittarius as the way it goes, right? As the way it seems to be. And when you know that, you think, all right, well, I know what to do. I got this. But then that's the way it seems to be in that way, right? So let me go from the left side, from the middle to left, and then I'm going to clarify for the right. The Tower is upright, there's transformation. The Justice is upright, you're going to tell the truth. Lovers is upright because you're going to make decisions, right? That's the way it goes, right? The Judge is upright when you're telling the truth, you know what to do, that's the way it goes. The Tower is upright because there's transformation, everything's changing, that's the way it kind of concludes. You're thinking, well, this is the way it goes, I need to do this is the beyond about this whole entire situation, it's because you like it or not, right? That's why it seems to be that. What's happening between the middle and the right side? The Hierophant reversed, followed the Devil reversed, followed the World reversed. Yeah, because there's something that was in completion. The Hierophant is upright reverse means that you have no guidance, nothing like that. The Devil reverse, there's no obsessions, nothing about that. That's why it seems to be. What's between the World, the Devil, and the Hierophant? The Hermit is upright, yeah, because you're wanting to find a soulmate, because that's the way it kind of looks. It's based on how you can try to look at it from a different perspective, and you're thinking, well, this is the way it needs to be. I need to have my own clarity, right? This is the way it seems to be. I need to have my own feelings about the way it happens. So this is the way it seems to be. So I'm going to look at from the middle to the left, middle to the right. So Hangman reverse, followed by the Eight of Pentacles is upright, followed by the Eight of Cups reverse, followed by the Judgment is upright. Yeah, because you want to take action. You're looking for more of your career. That's the way it goes, because you're focusing what's happening in that way. Because it's the way of how it is, right? It's beyond about that point of saying, oh well, I know what to do, I got this. But then it's like, I need to hear about this whole entire situations, whether I like it or not, whether I'm going to prove myself wisely, or that's the way it goes, right? You're trying to put something into perspective, whether you like it or not, right? That's the way it goes, right? This is not going to be like PG. This is not the crystal clear situations. It's the way of how it goes, where you need to understand that. That's the way it seems to be. What's happening between the middle and the right side, please? The High Priest is upright, followed the King of Pentacles reversed, followed the Knight of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, because it means that you're not having any trust, because you're not trusting anybody. The King of Pentacles reversed, you're not having any insecurity or security, whatever it is. The High Priest is upright, represents, you're using your inner voice, because that's the way it seems to be in that way. What's happening between the Knight of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles? Leo wants reversed, so there's no speed. The Emperor reversed, there's no structure. Ten Cups reversed, there's no delusion. Nine of Wands reversed, there's no fear. Hermit is upright, there's solitude. Yeah, because you're looking for a soulmate in that way. That's the way it seems to be, right? That's the way it is, right? What's happening between the Eight of Pentacles and the High Priestess? The World is upright. Yeah, because there's completion here. Yeah, because you're thinking that everything will be fine. But the way how this is, the way how you can coordinate, that's the way it seems to be, right? You're trying to have your own inflow, or the way of how it works, or the way how you can proceed. That's why it seems to be that. You need to understand about how you can do it in one way or another, right? This is the way of how you can understand about how it seems to be. So let's see what's going on from the universe. Let's see. So let's say from the middle to the left, the middle to the right. The Three of Swords is upright, there's heartbreak. The Five of Pentacles here, there's no insecurity. The Six of Swords here, there's no movement. Queen of Cups is upright, there's empathy. Yeah, because it means that you're looking for two sides of the story here. One makes sense, one doesn't make sense. But the way of how this is, that's the way how it seems to be in one way. Because you're thinking, okay, well, I know what to do, I got this. But then you have to understand that, right? You're trying to believe that everything seems to be fine, but then when you have no movement or when you have no things to do, it's like there is something that was behind of this situation. It's like, well, I don't want to be this, but this is the way it goes, right? I'm not acting like this. I'm not going to have what I need to have my own resistance or anything like that. You need to understand that. What's happening between the middle and the right side, please? The 5 wands is upright, there's chaos. Queen of swords reversed, there's no independence. Taurus upright, there's transformation. The 6 of wands reversed, there's no achievement. The high priestess upright is you're going to use your inner voice. Yeah. Because the way of how this says, whether you're going to use your inner voice or your transformation or whatever it is, you're trying to understand that. You're trying to employ what's going on, because you're trying to have expectations. That's the way it goes, right? That's the way it needs to be, that, right? It needs to be developed, or whatever it is, right? You have to understand that. What's between the heartbreak and the middle of this situation? The Eight of Swords is right, yeah, because there's anxiety. Yeah, because you're feeling, you're whimpering, or you're feeling like there was something wrong in this situation, or whatever it is. You're trying to understand about how I can understand this, right? You have to relate about what's going on in this situation, right? This is the way of how it kind of concludes. Because in one way or another, you're thinking, well, this is the way it seems to be. I know what to do, but then it's like, it's basically adequate. That's the way it seems to be, right? That's how it is. Because you have to understand the way of how this is, whether you're being monitored or not, or how you're feeling, how you're acting, how you're having your own discipline, whatever it is, because you're focusing on that. You're focusing about the truth and reconciliation in this way, right? That's the way it seems to be, right? That's how it is. So let's see what's going on in the Enchanted Mapp. Right? So let's see. Alright, so here we go. So the number 28, it says movement. So this is very interesting indeed. Oh, oops. Sorry about that. Funny. Okay, movement, right? Okay. Here we go, right? Okay. It says, movement. You're in a time of positive forward motion. Alright, so this is how it is. Okay, here we go. It says upright. This is a time for positive momentum as you come out of a period of restriction. You're in a stage of new adventure and discovery. You may feel compelled to take a trip, change your hair, or move your home or business. Regardless, you can't remain where you are anymore. You feel compelled to go forward. No matter what your inquiry, you will see your dreams take form, and doors previously shut begin to open as if by magic. Movement is also a state of mind. The fog lifts, and you now know the actions you need to take. This isn't the time for fear. Let it go and move forward. So it means that you're going to, basically, you're going to move forward. You're going to stay positive as much as you can. You're going to understand what it takes, or beyond about that point. You're trying to say about how I can do it, how I understand this. But the way of how this is, the way of how this is going to be, this is the way it seems to be, right? You have to understand about your own temptations, or you're saying about how I can do it, or how I can understand this. That's the way it goes, right? Because when you put things into perspective, that's the way it goes, right? Because you have to understand that, right? That's why it seems to be. And when you have to understand that, you have to know exactly what you're told to do, and you have to pay attention, whether you like it or not, whether you don't, understand that, or whatever it is. But then you have to believe about how everything is in one or another. It's like, you can't say, you're saying, oh, I can't do this anymore, I quit. Like, you don't want to do that, right? But it's beyond about that point. That's the way it goes, right? So This is the way it seems to be. But before I let you go, try to pay attention about what's going on in this situation, whether you like it or not, whether you're going to have more details, whatever it is. But then that's the way it seems to be. You have to understand about how I can do it, how you understand that, how you can do what you can, but you do what you can, right? And that's how it seems to be. So I hope you all like this video. Please give it a like. Please give it a comment if you want. But this is the way it seems to be. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day to all, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye for now. Really, thank you, and bye.